Out of all deepfake images that AI has generated, over 90% have been non-consensual pornographic deepfakes. 90% of them have targeted women. As a survivor of sexual assault myself, this resurfaces trauma for so many people across the country. Women lose their jobs when they are targeted with this. Teenagers switch schools, and children lose their lives.
It's the newest form of victimization happening at scale to your daughters, your sisters, your friends, and neighbors. Too many women are afraid to exist online, or sometimes to exist at all. The DEFIANCE Act is a bipartisan bill that gives survivors a path to justice. When your image is violated, it doesn't disappear. It lives inside you.
Since the public release of AI tools, we have seen an absolute explosion in AI-generated images used to sexually harass victims and children. Out of all deepfake images that AI has generated, over 90% have been non-consensual pornographic deepfakes. And out of those images, 90% of them have targeted women. As a prominent female elected official, I, as well as many others here, have spoken about our experience being targeted by AI deepfake pornography. Not only is this a coalition of legislators, this is a coalition of survivors of sexual harassment and, in some cases, abuse and assault. As a survivor of sexual assault myself, this resurfaces trauma for so many people across the country. And that is what it is intended to do. Because the creation of this content parallels the same exact intention of physical assault, which is about power, domination, and humiliation. And while these images may be digital, the harm to victims is very real. Women lose their jobs when they are targeted with this. Teenagers switch schools, and children lose their lives. Congress has a moral obligation to stop this harm. We can stop this harm, and we can pass this legislation to hold the people responsible accountable. Right now, 1 in 8 teenagers knows a friend who has been targeted by AI deepfake harassment. Because if you are a middle schooler, and we should all be horrified by that, because if you are a middle schooler or a high schooler in the United States of America, you most likely know someone who has been a victim to this. And people's parents are waking up every morning in fear that their kid could be next. And while everyday Americans are terrified of this, corporations are finding new ways to profit from the creation of these deepfakes. So while we are all grateful that Congress has taken the tremendous step in passing the Take It Down Act to ensure that harmful content is removed from online platforms, we know that there is more work to be done. It is not enough to take down content. We have to give victims a civil right of action. Take It Down gave us removal, and Defiance will give us recourse and restitution. Once this bill is signed into law, and it will be signed into law, survivors will have the ability to hold their abusers accountable and seek financial and reputational damage for the harm they have caused. In times of extreme political polarization, I also want to underline that the partnership with Representative Lee and myself have formed, as well as the invaluable partnership of Senators Durbin and Graham in the Senate, I think it represents a real spotlight and possibility that in this time of deep division, there are still bright spots possible, and there's still progress that's possible here. Bicameral, bipartisan advocacy for legislation focused on delivering justice for the American people. So since we've made some massive steps forward, it's time for us to finish the job. And so I urge Speaker Johnson, which we have had positive and encouraging conversations with, to put this on the floor for a vote as quickly as possible.
It's the newest form of victimization happening at scale to your daughters, your sisters, your friends, and neighbors. A staggering 1 in 8 girls today are experiencing the harms of AI-generated deepfake porn. I hear from teenage girls who are terrified to go to school, because they know a deep fake of them is circulating. I hear from women who are scared to run for office, to apply for jobs, to speak publicly, because they know how easily their image can be weaponized against them. Too many women are afraid to exist online, or sometimes to exist at all. And I know how that feels, because I've lived it. And now I have a daughter. She's just 2.5 years old, and I would go to the ends of the earth to protect her. But I can't protect her from this. Not yet. And that's why I'm here. Because this isn't about just technology, it's about power. It's about someone using someone's likeness to humiliate, silence, and strip them of their dignity. But victims deserve more than after-the-fact apologies. We deserve justice. The DEFIANCE Act is a bipartisan bill that gives survivors a path to justice. This is personal to me. It's part of my story. I began telling my truth in my documentary, This is Paris, and more in my memoir. Next week, I'm releasing my film, Infinite Icon, the next chapter in my healing journey. I am lucky. I had the platform to reclaim my story, but so many others don't. And what I've learned is this: when your image is violated, it doesn't disappear. It lives inside you, but so does your power. Telling the truth has helped me heal, and I'm so proud that today I stand here without shame. I am Paris Hilton, a woman, a wife, a mom, a survivor, and what was done to me was wrong. And I will keep telling the truth to protect every woman, every girl, every survivor, now and for the future. Last week, the Senate passed defiance by unanimous consent. Today, I stand here with Congresswomen Ocasio-Cortez and Lee, asking Congress to pass the Defiance Act through the House. Let's finally make it law.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.